Here's the story of a child who dreamed of becoming a writer. One who grew up in an abusive household, being beaten by his father and developing severe acne, which resulted in low self-esteem at school. A boy who grew up wanting to become a writer with little success, still working blue-collar jobs at age 50. A man who pursued his calling and was rejected time and time again, landing only small publishers. When he died, inscribed on his tombstone were the words Henry Charles Bukowski Jr. Hank. Don't try. Not like don't try to steal the grave or anything, but don't try. Quotations. At face value, this is the reality of many people who don't achieve the success they believe they were destined for. The story of the starving artist who fails to create any major success in his or her field and either chooses to continue in this impoverished frenzy or to back away into a more normal job. But this is a false dichotomy fallacy, which in fact there are more than the two stated options of success and failure. Charles Bukowski wanted to pursue a career in writing all his life. Yes, he was raised under less than ideal circumstances. Yes, he worked in a post office until he was 50 years old. Yet, he wrote before work, during breaks, and any free time he had available. He may not have lived a glamorous life, but his tombstone didn't read, "Don't try," in the defeated tone of a surrendered old man, but rather as a reminder when searching for identity. Don't try. The path with least resistance that pulls you is the correct way to go. He wrote because it was therapy. It flowed out of him every day because he needed to let it out. And if he didn't get a chance to write, he would physically feel unwell, like a bad headache that you need to take a pill for something. I don't know. A bad analogy. Bad point. Moving on. I took a bit of a sabbatical these past couple of weeks on YouTube because I was figuring out my own creative identity. I identified with my fashion design major, where I wanted to believe that without forcing, I would just sew every day. I would just make garments, make stuff. But that wasn't the case. And I had to schedule days where I would work. Otherwise, if left to my own devices, I'd spend more time doing pleasurable tasks like gaming, which opens a whole nother can of worms. Don't try doesn't mean like don't try and do whatever you want. But if I ignored my agenda, I found myself more happy with filmmaking and even more happy with painting. I did have a mini quarter-life crisis, thinking whether I chose the right major for me, whether this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. The way that I got through it was to understand that we're always changing and nothing is certain and life sucks and life is meaningless if you keep going down that bunny hole. But if we bring it a couple steps back, I did have moments in my life where I really wanted to sew and I was really engaged in fashion. And I had moments in life where I really wanted to paint and make paintings. And last month, I had moments where I just wanted to make YouTube videos and I wanted to film stuff and edit. But that all falls under the creative identity. That all falls under what I was drawn to at that moment. And at the end of the day, that is your identity in the moment. Do what feels right for you. So the dilemma was solved and I finally figured out which keyword to put under my Instagram bio, because we all know that one word defines your entire life existence. In his book, The War of Art, Steven Pressfield writes that in the animal kingdom, individuals define themselves in one of two ways: by their rank in a hierarchy, say a wolf in a pack, or by their relationship to a territory, say a hunting ground or a home base, which broadens into the concept of territorial and hierarchical thinking, which can help identify reasons that you are pursuing your craft. Of the two orientations, hierarchical seems to be the default setting. We naturally run in packs and cliques and know who's the top dog, who's the underdog, and where we are. This is how humans as well as animals achieve psychological security. They know where they stand, ergo, the world makes sense. The artist cannot define himself hierarchically. If he does, he will compete against others in the order, seeking to elevate his station whilst defending against those below, and ultimately evaluate his success, happiness, achievement by his rank. The territorial system is where the artist should operate. It is the thinking that you own a space, you own your studio, that is your creative freedom, your palace, your place of worship, and that is where you get to work. But territorial thinking requires you to put in your work, and you get as much back from it as you put in. Here's a way to help you find your territory. If you were the only one left on this planet, would you still be doing the thing you want to do? Would you still be painting? Would you still be making videos? Or if you're stressed out and you're freaking out, are you going to run towards others to seek praise and to hear people tell you that, hey, you're cool, you're better off without her, you're a cool guy, I like you? Or do you run to your art to create something that captures the emotions you're going through and that helps you get out of it? Because if Arnold Schwarzenegger were freaking out, he wouldn't run to his family and friends and talk about his problems. He would hit the gym, pump out those reps, and make himself feel better that way. That's his territory.
So I'm coming day and night. I mean, it's terrific, right?
And although cheesy, I think doing the things for the right reason because they bring you joy and you're passionate about it and you're not doing it for the ulterior motives will be the right way to go moving forward. I know a lot of us have struggles with money, and that's why we do a lot of things for money or for whatever you want, insert ulterior motive. But life's short. We're all going to die anyways. You might as well die fulfilled or not. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you feel draws you in at this moment. But do or do not, don't try. Haha, got it.